Hey, hi, what's going on? My name is Lorna, and today I just want to briefly touch on a little topic. A topic that look, I'm stuttering. Excuse me, there will be no edit, so what you get is what you get. Okay, so I just want to speak on a topic that I saw going around the internet, and it was about Africans that reside in China that are currently being harassed. They're being evicted from their homes that they know. They're not really able to go to hotels and stay in facilities, and they're being taunted with, having their passports taken. And the last thing that I saw was that, they were still, people were coming around to their homes and just randomly testing them for the coronavirus. And were saying that basically they had to go because, they were the cause and the reason for this, that, and the third. But what we all know is that this is something that originated in Wuhan at a facility with scientists, and that the information that first got out was that they had animals or whatever, and that they were selling those animals to restaurants in the vicinity of where the facility was or whatever. And so I just want to talk about basically about being black, and having to feel some type of way about being black. I myself, I love being a woman of color. I love being black. I don't want to be any other race, and I'm glad that God chose me to be the race that I am. But I think it's really sad and it's pathetic when there are people out there that just simply hate you because of your skin. I'm brown, I'm a little dark, and I'm okay with that because I love my complexion. I don't want to be another shade. The only thing that I would like to change about myself is maybe just like a couple of blemishes, just to get rid of those. But other than that, like, I genuinely love myself, and I just think it's sad, and it's weak-minded of people to simply hate you because of your race. It's like, who are you? Like, who are you to hate me because I'm black? Like, that's ridiculous to me. And I think it's ridiculous that we're still in this day and times of where racism still exists and is still prevalent, not even just in the U.S., but it's prevalent around the globe. And, the city in which I'm from is a very segregated town. When I was growing up, it was very segregated. You had blacks live on one side of town, whites live on the other side of the town. And one thing, when I was born, we lived in an area where it was mixed a little bit, not like a lot of blacks, but it was more whites. And I can remember I used to live out in this neighborhood called Okolona when I was a child, and we were the only black family on my block for a while, and then another black family moved in. Well, before the other black family moved in, my brothers would be, well, one brother in particular, would like be called outside his name, called the N word, and my parents would have to get into it with like the other people in the neighborhood. And I mean, it was ridiculous. But then when the other black family moved in, it was cool because it was like we had somebody that looked like us. They understood us. It was cool. And not to say anything were wrong with my neighbors that were Caucasian, because there were two families in particular that, we associated with. And they were like super cool. They were not like racist. They were not bigoted individuals. Like, they were very cool. And even my very first boyfriend in life was actually a white guy. And so I don't have like any hatred in my heart towards any other race, because I don't feel like I'm better than anyone. And I feel like it's disrespectful and it's very wrong for you to hate someone because of their race. And I just don't understand why someone wants to hate you because of the color of your skin. It's like, look at me for who I am. Look at me for the character, my character. Look at me for my qualities. Look at me for, like, the type of person that I am. Don't look at me just because you see the outward me. You see the color me. Like, don't look at me and don't label me just because I'm a color. Like, we're all different shades. Like, we all come in different forms, and we should all look at ourselves and be like, yo, like, I fucking rock, and that doesn't mean because you rock that the next race or the next individual next to you can't rock or can't shine. And I just think that we just as a people, the human race really just kind of need to like grow the fuck up, and we need to stop being so stupid and you know ignorant towards one another, because just because you're of a different pigment, that doesn't mean that you're better than me. Like, you think you're better than me. Like, really, come on. Like, get over yourself, because you're not better than me. No one's better than me, and I'm not better than anyone. We all have little airs about ourselves that we carry, but that doesn't mean that, I feel as if, oh, I'm black, so I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than you, I'm better than that. But I have learned that being black, you gotta be strong as hell, okay? Like, you gotta be strong, because you never know when a curveball is gonna be thrown your way. You never know when you're going to be mislabeled, um, given wrong medication, not given proper medication because of your race. And if people are watching this and you've gone to med school, or you've studied pharmacology, a lot of medicine that they talk about is like, oh, the effects that it has on a black person, the effect that it has on a white person, the effect that it has on an Asian person. So they look at all of those things, and it's like, what people are you really picking for, like, for your studies? Like, are you really doing the study, or are you just like making up shit, like making stuff up? The reason why I think people make stuff up is because I went to school for special education, and with special education, of course, I had to study autism, and I even have a certification in autism. And there was all these things like, oh, maybe it was linked to the formula, maybe it was linked to medicine. Maybe it was linked to the vaccinations, but nobody really knows. And a study came out that, like, this group of people that did this alleged study, like, they lied or whatever. And so it's like a doctor can't even diagnose a child for having autism. Basically, you sit in a classroom, or a parent, you notice that your child has like something wrong with them. Like, number one, eye contacts. How many times have I already looked off on this camera? I'm not looking directly into the camera. So what does that mean, that I'm autistic? No, it doesn't. I just don't want to look at you. Like, I just don't want to stare at you. There's other things that are going on in my mind, instead of just like making like 100% eye contact. Even though eye contact is like something that you have to do, because people be like, oh, well, you're not looking at me, like you're being deceptive, you're lying, this, that, and the third. But so I say that to say that there's just a lot of BS information out there, just a bunch of bullshit. And I do get off topic a lot. So excuse me for that. I go around and around in circles sometimes. So just, I wouldn't say bear with me. Just understand that that's just me. I always bring it home eventually. So I just want to just say, like, with the pandemic that's going on right now, and with the Africans or whatever, I feel like it's wrong. And for the McDonald's over there to have signs up, telling blacks that they can't come in, like, haven't we already endured enough? Haven't, like, black people endured enough? Like, think about it. Like, they were so captivated, traded, sent to many different foreign lands, not just to the U.S., but to the Caribbeans, to European places, against their will, sold. And, they were not able to speak the language of the captives that were taking them. And unfortunately, like, there were a lot of different type of people that were involved in like slave trades, and that back then was still like human trafficking. A lot of different type of people that were involved in that. And I think it's sad and it's ridiculous. And I feel like just because you're of a certain race, you shouldn't be treated a certain way. My parents are older parents, like, they're in their 70s, and well, one's in their 70s, one's in their 60s. And I just think it's like, it's ridiculous, because like, my parents grew up in that era. My mom came from a time in which, if she wanted to get on the city bus, she had to put her money in the front, get off, and then go around to the back. Like, was she not deserving to, like, sit down? Was she not deserving enough that she had to get on the front and then get off and then get back on? Like, that's fucking ridiculous. And I'm glad that that part of those times are gone. Or even just hear, like, my mom talk about a time where, in her town where she's from, blacks, you couldn't go in the stores. You had to go around the back and go up a ladder, and they would come to the door and hand you out a coat, and you would put your coat on, and that's the code that you had to leave the store with. There was no returns. Like, you couldn't take anything back. And that fucking sucks. Like, who wants to grow up in that era? You know, and I can remember the first time that I ever was called an N-word. Like, I was 12 years old, and a friend of mine, God rest her little soul, because she just passed last year, you know, we walk into the store near her house, like the store called Dairy Mart, and we were just going to go get some damn snacks. And these two little kids, little white kids, they yelled out, "Hey, N-words!" And I was looked at her, she looked at me, and of course, like, we took off running because, like, you don't know, like, if their parents were around. You don't know if maybe their father or mom told them to say that, or, you know, what was going to be the next thing. Like, was the father going to come out with a shotgun? Was the father going to chase us down? Was it going to be a brother? Was it going to be a sister? Or, like, what was going to happen? So in my mind, it was like, look, let's just run. Let's get the fuck away from here. Go get our snacks and go back to my friend's house. And it's crazy that I even had to endure that. But I mean, it was a life lesson. Never went back to that store again, or never went back down that street. I mean, I did go to that store again. I went with my parents, actually, but I sat in the car. I wasn't walking. Okay, needless to say. And so, I just think people just need to get your fucking shit together. Like, stop being so fucking judgmental and hating someone because of the color of their skin. Like, I'm black. I'm beautiful. I've got it going on in many aspects of my life. And I just feel like, you know, people, they need to just get their shit together. Like, stop hating someone because of their pigment. Like, we didn't decide to be this race, but I'm glad that God chose me to be a part of this race. And for you people out there that you may be racist, bigoted, you may have prejudices, look at your fucking self in the mirror and you tell yourself this day moving forward, I'm not going to be this crocodile piece of shit anymore. Because if you have that type of thought process, and, you know, you're just a bigot and you're racist and you think that harming black people, you know, like, that's the thing to do. No, because what you're doing is you're showing that you're a fucking coward. You're showing that you're bigoted, racist. You're showing your insecurities. And why expose yourself like that? Why hate someone because of who they are? And I just think it's just fucking ridiculous. Like, you shouldn't hate anyone because of who they are. You could hate them maybe for their actions, but hating someone because of their race, like, come on. Like, does that really fucking make sense? Oh my gosh, mommy, I hate Bobby because Bobby's white. Oh my god, mommy, I hate Leslie because Leslie's black. That shit sounds fucking stupid. Like, it sounds so fucking ridiculous. So, you all get your shit in order and stop with your bigoted asses and, you know, be better than what you are. Like, you can be better. You just have to choose and decide to be better. And, you know, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Get your shit together. Stop hating black people. Treat people fair, because one day it's going to be that black person and you're going to need their heart. Your child is going to need their kidneys. Your child may need their liver. Your parents may need their eyeballs for whatever reason. They may need to get some type of implant. They may need to survive. And it's going to be that black life that is going to be the one that's going to be saving your loved one. And knowing that, you should get yourself together. Get your life in order. Quit being a hater. Stop hating others, because jealousy, it doesn't look cute on you. I'm just saying. It's kind of fucked up if you think about it. Get your shit together. That's really all I want to say. So thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to be back because I have another topic that I want to talk about. So just check me out on my YouTube. Basically, you may say that I'm ranting and raving. I'm not ranting and raving. I'm just somebody that just, like, has a lot to say. And if you have any questions or any comments, go ahead and leave it in the comment section. Thanks.